Helaena Targaryen bonded with dragon Dreamfyre, which was bred by House Targaryen, though Helaena rode Dreamfyre only once in show. But their bond was so strong, and we can know that in the book Fire and Blood. Today we are going to see about bond between Helaena and Dreamfyre in books, Dreamfyre's history, how Helaena bonded with Dreamfyre, is really Daenerys' dragon eggs or Dreamfyre's, prophecies of Helaena which Ab said in the books. Stay till the end to know why Helaena stopped interacting or riding Dreamfyre. Without a hiccup, we are going into the video. According to the book Fire and Blood, Dreamfyre was hatched sometime before King Maegor I Targaryen's reign and was ridden by Princess Rhaena Targaryen, the eldest child and daughter of King Aenys Targaryen. Dreamfyre had secondary silver marks on top of a primary light blue tint. Since Dreamfyre was proved to have laid multiple clutches of eggs, and referred to as a she-dragon, she was relatively thin for a dragon, which explains why, even though they were close in age, other second-generation dragons like Meleys or Vermithor were thought to be more formidable in battle, even younger ones like Caraxes. Though it's not verified, Fire and Blood subtly suggests that Dreamfyre might have been the mother of Daenerys Targaryen's 3 dragons. The story in the book does explain how 3 dragon eggs got to the free cities. Following a protracted argument, Alyssa Farman, the lover of Rhaena, took 3 dragon eggs from the hatchery on Dragonstone and absconded with them, selling them for money in the free cities. This does strongly suggest that the 3 dragon eggs laid by Daenerys were not from Mushai, but rather belonged to the Targaryen dynasty. The text-specific language, however, doesn't say which dragon, whether Dreamfyre or another, laid the eggs that Alyssa took. But Daenerys' dragon eggs appearing in House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 3 mean the biggest theory about their origin cannot be true. Awaiting the birth of her sibling, Rhaenyra chooses one of Dreamfyre's eggs to place in the cradle. Daemon steals the same egg after he is disinherited. Dreamfyre is guarding a mound of eggs in the dragon pit when she is approached by Aemon Targaryen, who is there with the intention of claiming a dragon. Aemon stumbles and runs away when Dreamfyre roars and breathes fire. Dreamfyre eventually bonds with Princess Helaena Targaryen. Dreamfyre stays at high tide along with several other dragons during the funeral of Lena Velaryon. That day Driftmark was like a second Valyria. The next day, she flies back to King's Landing with Helaena Targaryen riding her. The show changed Princess Helena's character from book a lot, as she often says mysterious things that can be interpretive. For instance, Alicent assures Aemon that he will one day own his own dragon after he tries in vain to form a link with Dreamfyre. And with a whisper, Helaena adds, he'll have to close an eye. This was realized when Aemon had his eye removed prior to identifying Vhagar as his dragon. In Season 1, Helaena again gives us a glimpse of her prophecies, when she warns us to beware the beast beneath the boards. Fans soon discovered, not fully understanding her meaning, that it was a prophecy for Rhaenys to ride her dragon Meleys and break through the dragon pit's floor. One of Helena's prophecies was included in House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 1, and it had to do with Jaehaerys' death. Aegon too enters Helena's room early in the episode and inquires as to where his son Jaehaerys is. Helaena acknowledges to Aegon that she is afraid after informing him that Jaehaerys is in the library. He tells her they are safe, and she confesses that she is afraid of the rats. Fans find out at the end of the episode that she must have had a prophetic dream about blood and cheese breaking into her chambers and killing Jaehaerys. Aegon, not knowing what she is talking about, simply brushes off her remark. Future episodes of House of the Dragon will probably elaborate on Helena's prophecies, and given the catastrophe that occurred at the conclusion of Season 2 Episode 1, many must question whether her family members will eventually come to heed her warnings. Similar to Viserys I Targaryen, Aegon the Conqueror, and Daenys the Dreamer, Helaena possesses extremely powerful prophetic powers. Their interaction with Balerion the Black Dread, caused them to become afflicted with the capacity to dragon dreams. In addition, Helaena received this gift from the Targaryens when she claimed Dreamfyre, her own dragon that had hatched from an egg laid by Balerion. But Helaena had visions of death that frightened her, so she avoided flying Dreamfyre and interacting with her in order to lessen her vulnerability to prophecy. In the House of the Dragon Season 2 Episode 8 trailer, Aemond asks Helaena to fly Dreamfyre to war. If the thought of Helaena riding Dreamfyre in the House of the Dragon Season 2 finale excites you, well then, be careful what you hope for. Whether it's Baela chasing Kristen Cole with Moondancer, Rhaenys, and Meleys facing off against Aemond and Vhagar at Rook's Rest, or Hugh Hammer and Alf the White claiming Vermithor and Silvering in Episode 7, Season 2 hasn't skimped on dragon action. But there is one that we haven't seen much of since the start of the show: Dreamfyre, Helaena Targaryen's dragon. There are reasons for that, but you're free to read the book House of the Dragon is based on. But the Season 2 Episode 8 trailer teased the possibility of Helaena finally mounting her dragon. As seen in the trailer, Aemond informs Helaena, "Pretenders raise new riders against us. I need you to fly into battle with Dreamfyre." It would be simple to assume that this indicates Helaena will face the dragons of the Blacks in the climax. Not only does the book, again, no spoilers, never have it, but the trailer also has another scenario that suggests someone will prevent Aemond from compelling Helaena to engage in combat. That person is Alicent. She warns Aemond, "You want to rule the Seven Kingdoms, but you rain ruin and death." Behind her, Helaena appears apprehensive. Although it appears to come after Aemond's line in the actual episode, it appears to come before it in the trailer. I know y'all are getting excited about Helaena riding Dreamfyre, but I think Alicent will be putting a stop to that. He was trying to convince her to let someone claim Dreamfyre, and he got too pushy with it, and that's when Alicent stopped him. Don't worry though, because the Season 2 finale is set to introduce another new dragon, Tessarion the Blue Queen, ridden by Daeron Targaryen. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss my weekly videos.